Good morning, soldier. Today you're signing up for the Alpha Male Bootcamp. We are going live with an Alpha Male camp called the Post-crucible. Get your stuff and get in line, soldier.
A few weeks ago, I made a video exposing these guys, and they put a false copyright takedown claim on my video as an attempt to silence my criticism. That's right, the people who are going to teach you how to be a man couldn't handle criticism from a random YouTuber with 8,000 subscribers. Man, what a joke. Guys, let me tell you, I appealed with YouTube, got that video reinstated, so if you want to go support the channel, please go watch that video if you haven't. Leave a like, obviously after you finish this video, of course. But I want to be clear in saying I recorded this call in a one-party consent state. And beyond that, there's no reasonable expectation of privacy in an outbound sales call. I removed all content from this group's YouTube channel, and I have not used their content in any way in this video. So, if a false copyright claim is placed on this video as an attempt to silence my fair, free speech criticism, I am prepared to respond legally to the fullest extent of the law. I'm just going to leave it at that, guys. If you're new to this channel, I make scam videos exposing alpha males. Sometimes I get on these sales calls. I'd love to have you be a part of what we're building here. Your support really means a lot to me. And guys, let me tell you, I'm actually thinking about doing a setup where I start to put my face on the channel so we can kind of build a little bit more camaraderie on the brand. I'm curious, what do you guys think? Would you like to see me get on camera? Maybe you don't want to see me. Let me know down below, guys. If y'all are interested in seeing that, maybe I can set something up. Now, let's jump into this.
Hey, am I speaking with Joe?
That's me.
Reading your application, I mean, you pretty much put, you're interested in looking to grow and be a better version of you, right? That's ultimately what you said. And I want to know, because this program is not for everybody, but I can tell you it is a paradigm shift. What brings you to our doors?
You say the application. I don't ever recall submitting an application or anything.
You said you own a business. What is your annual income? You make less than $50K a year. You say, why are you applying? I'm interested to grow and become the best version of myself.
I have no idea where this came from, so I'm kind of having to go off of the story that he makes here for me.
So I'm asking you, what brings you here?
I was really interested to just learn more about it.
Like I said initially, this program's not for everybody. I can tell you that. But it is for the man that is looking for growth and to get uncomfortable, right? So if you're a comfortable man and you're just kind of riding the ebbs and flows in life and you're just blowing in the wind, then this is for you. But if you already are, you're making big bucks, you got a beautiful family and things are good, then maybe this isn't for you. But if you are in a position that you're looking to grow, right, and you have life ahead of you, I mean, like I said, it's a paradigm shift. It's really, it's a reinvention process, right? So you go through very tough challenges and you come out victorious. You come out with better confidence. You come out with no self-doubt, no fear of failure. You become an action taker, right? Talking about this here, a program like this, wanting to get challenged, wanting a brotherhood, surrounding yourself with like-minded men. What brings you here besides finding it interesting?
I always believe in trying to be the best version of myself. And that message really resonated with me whenever I heard it online. I'm a pretty lone wolf in my life. I don't have a whole lot of friends. I don't really have a lot of people around me. My family originally is from Bosnia. I don't know how much you know about the Bosnian conflict in Yugoslavia. Do you know a lot about that, or probably not?
Familiar with it. No,
Okay.
Familiar with it. I grew up with a few Bosnians. Yep.
I used the name Joseph Jackson. When's the last time you've ever heard of a Bosnian named Joseph Jackson?
One of the biggest things I try to do is I try to be more social. I try to get out of my comfort zone.
Absolutely, 100%. And that's the mentality, is always looking to keep that momentum and get 1% better every single day. And the lone wolf man, you're not the only guy that has said that. I speak to hundreds of men every month. Now, my question to you is, I know that, like you said, you have friends. Is brotherhood, is accountability, networking, inspiration, is that something you're open to or seeking?
I think it should be the goal of everybody in some sense, right?
For sure, right. You don't want to be around the hometown buddies that are begging you to come over to watch Netflix and kick your feet up, right?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
He's actually telling me don't be around my friends because they want to hang out. What's up with these alpha males talking about how you gotta always network and push each other? Can you never just hang out and do something fun?
If you're a lone wolf, you don't really have that sense of accountability. Now, doesn't mean you're not a disciplined guy. I don't, you could be very disciplined. Is discipline, structure, a rhythm and rhyme to your days, is that something that you struggle with, or you feel like you got that down pat?
I can be disciplined, but I see my life more as more fluid than more disciplined, if that makes sense, because everything that I do is all contingent on my own schedule.
Right. Okay. Now, this is an important one here. I want to know for you, where do you feel like the biggest area of difficulty is for you? And I'll kind of reverse the question. Where do you feel like you can improve the most? And You actually answered this on your application. You put self-confidence, courage, and relationships.
Well, he just made this easy for me. He told me what I'm struggling with. Again, guys, I promise I did not fill out that application. I have no idea what this man is looking at. But sure, now I'm struggling with relationships and confidence. I know some people are pretty loud or pretty out there. This is not me. I'm a pretty stoic, reserved person. I don't see that necessarily as a bad thing. One of the ways I can improve is being more vocal, whether it's stuff I want or things that I don't want, to be clearer in saying that. But I don't feel like I am where I want to be.
You have a great point right there, because Stoicism is a huge component that we focus on. A lot of the ethics, the ethos that we live by, and the code of conduct, it's derived from the warriors of old.
My mouth started to water when I heard him say this. I felt like a spider watching a prey walking into the spider web knowing he's about to get demolished. This is my field of expertise. I studied this in college. I've read countless books about the ancients, the warriors of old, secret societies, all of it. Let's see just how far he takes it.
The Knights Templar, the Samurai, the Spartan, and a lot of the Stoicism that they lived by is what we implement, what we teach you men going through the program, before the program, after the program.
Well, it was a good run, guys. It lasted about 10 seconds before he said something that's completely wrong. Let me break it down for you. He says that these groups were Stoic. They weren't. The Spartans existed around the 8th century BCE. The Stoics didn't arrive until Zeno founded Stoicism in the 3rd century BCE, so the Spartans were gone before Stoicism was even a thing, and the Knights Templar didn't come around until the 12th to 14th century CE. And that was a Christian military order that practiced chastity, obedience, and poverty following Benedictine influence, not Stoic philosophy. And samurais, they're part of feudal Japan from the 12th to 19th century, which blended ideas of Shinto, Zen Buddhism, and Confucianism, which eventually became Bushido, the code of the samurai, not Stoicism. There's some overlap with the samurai and Stoicism, sure, but they're completely different. None of these groups practiced Stoicism, and frankly, none of them probably even knew what Stoicism was to a large degree.
So just taking a step back, now being more vocal in every area of your life, that can definitely help get what you want, move the needle in certain areas, whether we're talking about business, whether we're talking about relationships. I mean, honestly, in every aspect, it can help. I want to know, has this been something that you've struggled with for some time, or maybe since you stepped into leadership and you're making your own schedule?
No, it's always been that way my whole life.
You put confidence. I don't know what you meant by that.
I'm confident in the decisions that I make, but sometimes I fall victim to other people's opinions about what I'm doing versus what I want to do. So for example, if I decide I want to do something, well, maybe I'll tell someone and they'll give me their opinion, and somebody else gives me their opinion. And then when I consider those versus what I said, now I'm back in a state of limbo, of not really knowing what to do.
Yeah, I hear you wholeheartedly. When you get stuck in that limbo, what I call that is analysis paralysis, right? You pretty much analyze everyone else's opinion, and then it gets you stuck, right? You're just stuck in that area of indecision. Any sort of indecision, if you can't make a decision where you're eating for dinner, you know, all that fun stuff.
Now, who the heck can't choose what they're eating for dinner? There's no way this guy actually thinks that there's dudes out there who can't pick what they're eating because they're so indecisive and they just go hungry, starve, and die.
So painting business, how long have you been doing this for? Like, what are your goals and ambitions? Do you want to scale this? Do you want to keep it?
Really, since COVID kind of subsided, I actually started I think late in 2021 when the restrictions of COVID started to end. I ended up kind of going place by place and just saying, look, why don't I come in? I'll paint it for you. And I ended up just making connections and slowly growing, where I'm at. Honestly, pretty content with that. I don't know if that's a good or bad answer for you.
It's okay to be content, 100%. It's totally okay. But as far as, when I say goals and ambitions, I don't just mean as far as the business. Is there any achievements and milestones that you want to hit?
I'm somewhat working on a master's degree. I mean, I just started in a new program for that. I'd like to get married in the next 5 years. If I don't, I'm probably going to have some bigger problems to worry about.
Good, man. I appreciate you opening up. One of the most important parts about this process, program, is being vulnerable and opening up. You get out what you put in, right? So if you're committed to 10 minutes a week, well, that's what you're going to get. But if you're committed to putting in an hour a week, 2 hours a week, then, well, that's exactly what you're going to get. You're going to reap the reward. So nonetheless, here, I'm going to segue us here into phase 2 of the conversation, Joe. There's guys who are in our brotherhood. There's a specific guy named Chris Corbin. He has a major painting company in New York. There's another. So we have a lot of guys who are in real estate development and construction. They own multi-million-dollar businesses.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Those men have come here because they're the lazy lion at the top of the mountain.
This is crazy. 8 and 9-figure business owners are going to sign up for this program? Not a chance in the world. You have people working at McDonald's that sees through this as complete BS, and you expect someone who has a multi-million-dollar business to just say, oh yeah, take my money, this is great, I need this. Heck no. Even if somebody wanted to do something like this to get challenges and be tested in some way, they could just go and pay for something on their own for someone to do it directly with them, not some big community group jerk off like this.
Then there's guys who are looking to excel in life, and they're in the midst of opening up their own business and trying to be better as a father, and there's those guys. Then you have guys who are lost. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and jump to the program. So the program itself, Joe, it's 4 days boots on ground. So that's the videos you've actually seen of the men in the mud and the dirt and the water. Now, our goal here is to break you down mentally, physically, psychologically, emotionally, and to reforge you alongside other like-minded men. Now, I can tell you without a doubt, biggest challenge is going to be the mental fortitude. So it's showing up with the will, the heart, the fire. You guys go through world-class obstacle courses. You guys go through sparring sessions, so one-on-one against another man. You guys go through team building and leadership challenges, confidence challenges, blackout phases. You guys go through business blueprint sessions. You'll have 2 hours to come up with a business plan. And there's so much meditation practices. Being that I select you here, we bring you on board. I will push you into an onboarding meeting with George. He's our client success executive. You'll go on with him, start to introduce each other to all the different gentlemen in there. We start building the camaraderie, the accountability, networking with these guys. There's a lot that goes on. But primarily what we focus in there is pragmatic leadership, decision execution, so taking initiative, taking action. We focus on aligning your mind, body, and spirit. So what I mean by that, Joe, is just being present in the moment. A lot of what we teach, like I said, comes from the warriors of old. I'll give you an example here. Something that we hyper-focus on is Mushin. Mushin means mind without mind. Stoic teaching, it's just being present in the moment.
No, that's not correct at all. Mushin is a Japanese Zen Buddhism term, has nothing to do with Stoicism at all. Now, it does literally translate to mind without mind, but he says it means being present in the moment. That's not what Mushin means. Mushin means an absence of deliberate thought. If you've ever seen Star Wars and you see how the characters meditate and they use the Force, and they don't think about it, they're just in harmony with nature. That's what Mushin means. It's better characterized by the Taoist tradition of Wu Wei, meaning effortless action. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's banking on people listening to him thinking, oh wow, this is really interesting, not knowing it's complete crap.
Phase 2 is going to be physical prep. So we'll have a regimen that is based on the crucible, calisthenics, weightlifting, endurance training, rucking, swimming. We just want to make sure that you men are gung-ho. So every day you'll have every week you have a progressive workload. You'll start with a 2-mile ruck with 35 pounds on your back, and then the next week you'll do a 3-mile ruck with, boost up another 10 pounds at 45, and then you'll probably stagger there. I will do no phones before bed, for some of the challenges. We'll do, do your eulogy. So you're going to write a eulogy for yourself. So there's a lot of interesting things that we do in here to kind of, stimulate your mind and help you focus on you. Segueing into Post-crucible, if you graduate a program, you will land into a lifelong brotherhood, which is the Men of War Society. Now, inside of the brotherhood, there's so many different things we do. I'll give you some general insight here. We have internal programs, which we call alliances. So they're like clubs with inside our brotherhood. Now, we do a big annual gala down here in Miami, Florida. So for all the main men, we do an award ceremony for you gentlemen. We'll do a PT session on the beach for sunrise, conference sessions, investment circles. Now, as far as communication goes, you'll be having meetings on a bi-weekly basis with your graduation group. We do monthly meetings with the whole entire brotherhood. We do regional meetups on a quarterly basis. We do monthly challenges. We do weekly accountability checks, specialized podcasts, subject matter presentations, charity events.
I'm still waiting for him to say something valuable. Everything he said is completely pointless and not worth it. The idea is to break the person down. What really is the point of that, of breaking them down physically? For example, if I'm trying to become the best version of myself in terms of being more confident, I don't really see how that would apply.
Let me open your eyes.
Yes, please open my eyes. I'm too helplessly dumb to understand on my own.
Have you ever been through a tough physical challenge and came out on the other side? The whole core of it is mentality, right? So when you come out of tough, rigorous challenges victorious, you start to develop more confidence because you overcame obstacles that I would say 99% of men don't do.
Like, I'm in quite really good physical shape. Did wrestling when I was in college. At one point, I was ranked 24th in the entire United States. Last time, I actually tried out to represent Bosnia in the Olympics. Now,
wow.
It didn't
Incredible.
Yeah. I guess he doesn't think it's suspicious that someone who is good enough to wrestle collegiately and someone who was able to try out to wrestle in the Olympics would be interested in this program. He doesn't think about anything. He just goes from one point to the next.
Most of the guys, I would say they're in pretty good shape. Now, maybe not as young as you are. Not all of them drop out, but most of them will drop out due to banging banking on their physicality to carry them through. And then they're going to go ahead and discredit the mindset that you need to actually graduate this program. Like I said, one way or another, your body becomes exhausted. You get dehydrated. It's just inevitable when you go through this process.
It's wild he thinks someone good enough to try out for the Olympics and someone who wrestled collegiately is going to drop out because of the mental test in the Men of War Crucible. Get out of here with that, bro. Anyone who can try out for the Olympics could handle this course no problem. And I tell you what, I would make a bet that I personally could go to this course and have no difficulty whatsoever if I started tomorrow.
Anyways, I want to answer any questions you may have, Joe.
One more question I have, and we can go into talking about the logistics if you deem me as acceptable. When it comes to the mindset, I know you mentioned Stoicism a couple of times. Is that going to be like the main, I guess you call like stimulator? Or is there going to be other things in there as well? Because when it comes to Stoicism, I consider myself to already have a fairly good understanding of it.
You may know some, you may not. Like Mushin, what I mentioned to you, or Zenshin, right? These are all samurai terminologies. Misayogi, right? Which is pretty much purging yourself. It's almost like clarity.
He finally stopped saying these terms are Stoic words. Great, but he's still not saying what the words actually mean. We already talked about Mushin. Let's talk about the others, Zenshin and Misayogi. Zenshin is a martial arts term. It's not a samurai term. Might samurai have used it? Yeah, maybe, because samurai did a little bit of martial arts, but that's not the origin. It's mainly found in karate, aikido, kendo, and guess what? The founder, Rafa Kande, claims to be a black belt in aikido. So that's almost certainly where this term comes from, not the samurai. It just sounds better to say it comes from the samurai. And Misayogi, yeah, he is right. Misayogi can be a ritualistic practice of cleansing oneself in the water. However, it's not samurai. It's Shinto, which is the traditional folk belief of Japan, but saying something is Shinto, that doesn't sell. Samurai sell. So they say, oh, these are samurai terms. None of these terms are samurai in origin. None. If you want to explain like what the offer itself is, because I know you said you want to go into part 3, I'd like to hear it.
So this is logistics as far as investment-based location. Investment across the board is $5,900, okay?
Business must not be too good down there for the Men of War Crucible, because this program used to cost $10,000, and when it started, it cost $18,000. I must be getting the discount price, only $5,900 bucks.
I would cover everything from start to finish. That would cover your entrance into the brotherhood. That would cover your Man of War Society ring, your graduation, your preparation, your uniforms, your 4 days of lodging in the compound, your 3 meals per day, full circle. The only thing it would not cover, Joe, would be your flight to and from Pensacola, Florida. That's actually where we hold the Crucible.
The flight to and from Florida is going to be more expensive than the entire program itself. Everything you said, the lodging, the food, the ring, all that stuff is literally less than probably $300. You would think if they're charging you this amount of money, they could at least comp you a flight, even if it's on Spirit Airlines or something.
You guys are about 35 miles into the woods in the middle of nowhere. The dates that we have, we don't have any availability until 2026. Usually we'll pick you up at X location around 0500 and then we bring you into the compound. That is it all in all as far as logistics goes. The offer is the program itself. You're not investing an incredible amount of time into this afterwards. You're only putting in what you want. So just like your fluid life right now, kind of how it is. Yes, there will be mandatory meetings. We want you to get on those because that's how you get the value. You don't need to show up like you're a grown man. You make your own decision.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
So he just says there's mandatory meetings, and then he says you don't have to show up. Which is it? Is it mandatory or do you not have to show up? Not very time intensive. That's one of the concerns that I have is, what, you said $5,600? Is that what you said? No, you said $5,900. That's one of my concerns too. Paying so much money for so little time. And I really wonder how much can really be done in 4 days. And I understand you said the before and the after, but you just said that, well, you don't have to come to that and it's, bi-weekly or monthly or something. So
yeah, for sure. So let me have you understand it. You get out what you put in. There are mandatory meetings, but you're a grown man. You're 29 years old. It's up to you to attend these meetings. The 4 days is just there as a rite of passage to test yourself.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
The real value is in the brotherhood, where we're hosting events, or we're doing all these things. Now, it's at your discretion. I can't hold your hand throughout the entire process, Joe. It's impossible. Like I said, I know you're content. You said, you're cool with everything, and that's totally fine. But being that you do this and you don't feel like you got your value's worth, me personally, I'd give you every dime back. I would literally sell you $5,000 back.
Stop the cap!
That's just the fact of the matter. But I can almost guarantee you, going through this program and coming to the event and actually putting in the effort, you would thank me afterwards. You have to have a reason, a why. If you're coming in here with no reason or no why, or you don't have the resolve, like the fire that you really need to do it, then maybe it isn't for you. Me personally, I believe it's for a lot of men. They could use this. They could benefit from it, no matter their situation. From what I gather, you're saying because everything is discretional, you don't understand the value.
The whole point of joining would be to go to it. Because I know you talked about if I'm motivated or if I really want to change these things. The way I look at it is that there's not one universal way that I have to go to change certain things. Regardless of if, we decide to do this and I decide to come to the February Crucible, I'm still going to be on the journey of trying to progress and improve myself over time.
It's not for the faint of heart. I can tell you that without a doubt. You will be held accountable. You'll be called out. And if you take things personally, I can tell you this is not the place for you. But if you can absorb things and you are a good leader and you're sure of yourself, or at least you're trying to be, or maybe you're not so sure of yourself, and you're looking to have that confidence within yourself. That's what I can tell you here. Like, if you go through this, it is a paradigm shift. It's not a life change. It's just a perspective switch.
If I'm being honest, I'm not entirely sure it really matches with me. Maybe you disagree. Like, do you disagree? Like, give me an honest opinion what you think, given just what I've said.
Full transparency, I think that you can benefit benefit tremendously from this. And I'm not saying because you may have some doubts of the value of this, because that's what it seems like, right? Because you're pretty much basing $5,000. What is that going to get me?
Well, duh. Why else would I spend $5,000?
It's just taking a leap of faith. You're a business owner. You have to trust processes. You bet on yourself, right? Because you were knocking on doors, you made these connections, and now look, you're here. That's what it is. You're taking a leap of faith.
Oh, that is such BS. It's such a telltale sign whenever people go and say, you just have to take a leap of faith or just trust or invest in yourself. That's a code word that they're going to scam you. There's nothing of real value here. And anyone with a business knows you don't just invest stuff just to invest it. You calculate what's the potential outcomes, what's the risk versus reward. Then you decide, okay, is it worth the investment or not? You don't just blindly go and drop money on the table.
I do think it'll be very beneficial for you, but I don't know. You don't seem like totally in, and that's what I'm wondering. I don't know what the hesitation or maybe the hard time to grasp the value of it is.
I grasp it fine. There's just no value here at all. It's utter dog shit.
I want to make it known, like, you're not investing and paying for friends or brotherhood. It's so much deeper than that. Like,
that is exactly what you're doing. You're paying for brothers. You're paying for friends.
I can send you more testimonials. Maybe that will help you understand more. I would connect you with a guy. I don't want to waste, one of the brothers' times that, maybe is your age and that could talk to you about it. I don't want to waste it if you're not going to do this. So it's kind of like a tough thing here, man.
Are you saying you think it would be a waste of time to have them connect with me?
Well, here's the thing, is I've done it multiple times in the past. Usually what happens is, I'm not going to say usually, but there's been times where I go out of my way and I extend my arm for somebody and I never hear from them again. Sometimes they'll even blow off the guy that I set the meeting with them.
Does this guy realize he's in sales? Like, does he realize sometimes people decide they're not interested, they change their mind? He's not special that people don't show up. This happens to everyone all the time. I've had companies do this.
Definitely a thing that I can do, but I just have to know that you're somewhat committed. And from what I gathered, you're 50-50. You're like teeter-tottering. I'm willing to do that for you, Joe. I just don't know.
Well, if you would like to connect me with somebody else, I will talk to them, and that'll be fine for one of the testimonials you said.
Well, let me ask you this here. From 1 to 10, where are you?
Just about like you said earlier, I'm right split down the middle. I really don't know. And that's why I'm asking so many questions, because I'm undecided. Yeah. Essentially, that would be the whole reason why I would think that it would be a good idea to do this in the first place, to go and to try to put me in contact with someone who can kind of, help reinforce all the things that you said here.
Listen, I speak to so many different personalities. I have no problem connecting you with a brother that's graduated, that's, maybe a guy that's actually in your industry or in your area.
Oh my gosh, then do it. Quit just saying you will and connect me to a brother.
This is what I want to do, because I know you only saw like a few different things. You maybe saw just like surface level things. I want to send you some testimonials. I want to send you, did you look at so you just looked at the website and then maybe you looked at a couple of the videos I sent you this morning. Did you see anything about, I didn't even send you a book. I want to send you the book. I want to send you some more things to give you some more value. And actually, like, the book has a lot to do with what we do in the crucible and the ethos that we live by. So if you read this and you go through some of the things I send you and this gets you to a 6, 7 out of 10, then I will go ahead and connect you with a brother. I'm not going to do it right now.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
So he mentions he can connect me to a brother. He says he's willing to do it, but he says he's not going to do it. This guy has taken a masterclass in how not to close a sale.
You know, you can go through the Facebook reviews of men who have went through the program, but I want you to understand the program more because I feel like, I don't know, did I do a bad job explaining it to you, Joe?
No, you did a fine job explaining it. I completely understand what you're saying, and I understand everything that you said about the program. I'm just on the fence if I am interested and it provides the value. I've already read the client testimonials. Like, I've seen them on the Man of War website. Like, if you scroll down, you'll see not wanting to connect me with somebody now and I'm not decided. It makes it seem like you don't think I'm a really good fit, and it kind of pushes the needle in the opposite direction for me.
Let me ask you this. What are you looking for?
It's what I've said this whole time. I want to continue to grow. I want to become more comfortable in how I can talk to other people, become more confident in doing what I want to do instead of listening to what other people say.
Right. But we're talking about, like, in the grand scheme of things, because you mentioned you're content as far as business and other aspects. So what exactly are you looking for, or do you not know, and that's why you applied here and you're exploring different avenues?
How many times have I answered this question? He's asked me at least 4 times in this conversation, what am I looking for? What am I trying to improve? I told him in the first 5 minutes. I even just answered this question and he asked me again. What does he want me to say?
So this is what I can do here, because you're telling me that the needle is moving the opposite way. If that's how you feel, we can part as friends. Maybe it isn't for you. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, like I said, and this goes back to the very first thing. Like, this is not for everybody. Do I believe it's for you to a degree? Yeah. Like, I honestly believe this can benefit you.
Oh my gosh, dude, you just said it's not for me. Then you said I could benefit from it. This whole time you've been saying, yeah, it's for me. I can really grow. Well, I'm not for everybody. Maybe it's not for you. Which is it? Is it for me or is it not for me?
We can part as friends, man. In the near future, if you feel like maybe this is right for you and you're like, hey, you know what, maybe I have second thought, that's cool. Well, I'll connect you with a brother. I just don't feel it's right now because there's been too many times where I've done it and in conversations like this, and I'm not saying that you could be a different guy, right? I could give you the benefit of the doubt, but we respect our brothers. We want to make sure that when we reach out to them, it's for an important matter.
He's outright saying he doesn't respect me. He's grouping me in with all the other people that blew him off. There's no chance I would even entertain signing up for something like this. The disrespect to not give a potential client the time of day and saying it's a waste of their time to even talk to them or even set up a call is astounding. And for as much as he talks about how his time is important, they don't want to waste the time of a brother, he has wasted my time by showing up 12 minutes late to this conversation and not even setting me up with someone after I said, yes, I would show up. I'd like to talk to someone.
Let's say you reach back out to me and you're like, hey, Coach Tony, actually, you know what? I don't think, I'm going to do this. What he told me is just not it. Then it's like, okay, there was all of our, I'm not going to say wasted, but all of it was kind of wasted, right? We don't want to, I respect your time, Joe. I don't want my time wasted as well. I think this is a great conversation. I believe we both got clarity from it, and we can part as friends, all right?
Okay.
You good?
It's a little disrespectful to not want to share me with one of your other clients or your other students that's been in the program. It's not wasting someone's time, but I can turn it right back around and say, well, I've talked to other programs as well. For example, I had someone blow me off just this last week when we set up a call, but I still answered this call and set it up to talk to you guys.
Okay. Well, I respect how you feel there. Like I said, man, I speak to so many men. I hear quadrillion stories every month. I hear so many things, and you have a good head on your shoulders. Like, I think you're a great dude. Like, you bring good energy. You're direct. That's something we appreciate here without a doubt.
I'm a great dude, but it'd be a waste of their time to talk to me.
But, I don't know. If I connect you, will you actually speak to this guy? Like, will you pick up the phone and make it work? That's my question to you. If I connect you with a man, will you actually, hop on the phone? That's what I'm saying. I don't know if it is a good fit for you, Joe.
I kind of feel like that's a bit contradictory, because earlier you were saying that you don't mind putting me on a call, and then you said, well, you don't want to put me on a call. Now you say you don't mind putting me on a call. You think I'm a good fit. You think it's value. Now you say it's not a good fit for me. I'm not really sure what you're saying to me.
It's just more kind of gauging where you are. Like I said, you're at the, if having you speak with somebody is going to get you to a 10, like I can do that. Saying no is not a bad thing. I agree. But we want you to take action. So maybe I did a bad job on painting a picture of the program for you. You don't understand the value, and that's something that I can reflect on. But at the end of the day, like, if you're saying, like, I get what you're saying, because I want to do it, I don't want to do it. I'm just trying to really gauge if I should put you on a call with a guy or not. And just like you're trying to gauge if you want to do the program or not. And it seems like the deciding factor is if I put you on a phone call with this guy and he gives his testimonial. Like I said, man, if you have a hard time understanding why I'm saying let's part as friends here, like I'm not there's no hard feelings. I don't want you to take anything personal. That's it, man. Like I don't know what else to tell you, Joe.
All right. There it is, soldier. I hope you enjoyed this video going live with an Alpha Male Bootcamp. If you want the real experience, $5,900, you can pretend to be a soldier today. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like on it. We're going really fast. Y'all really like my last couple of videos. Really hope to keep that trend going. But anyway, I know you guys like this stuff. I've been working on some more old scam videos. You guys really like Tom Vu, so I'm coming out with some new stuff.
In closing, this is my personal experience. I can't say that loud enough. From an outbound sales call, there's no expectation of privacy. I was in a one-party consent state, and I know my rights. I encourage anyone to go make your own decisions about these guys or any other group you see online. Don't just trust me at face value if you have doubts or concerns. I'm not telling you to like or dislike anybody. I'm simply sharing the facts with you and my personal experience. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you next week.